I hope I am audible as well as visible. Today is the 20th of January 2026. It is 6:30 a.m. where I am right now in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I believe it is 12 noon where you are, and thank you for joining the chat. We'll just get a few essential elements in order. That's it. মাম হ্যালো মাম। তো কালকে আমি লাইভ আসতে পারিনি, তার জন্য অ্যাপোলজিজ। কেন লাইভ আসতে পারিনি? আই ওয়াজ টু লেজি, দ্যাটস অল। অন্য কোনো কারণ নেই। আই ওয়াজ ভেরি লেজি ইয়েস্টারডে। I think I woke up at around 6:50 a.m. and I left for the hospital at 8 a.m. Normally, I leave for the hospital at 7 a.m. So I left for the hospital 1 hour late on a Monday, which is the first day of the working week. So I did anticipate that I would be the last to enter. I wasn't. I was probably the third person to enter, and after me, at least 10 people came. So that is why I have kept that 1 hour cushion. I'm supposed to reach by 8:30. I leave at 7. If I walk fast, I can reach at 7:30. So I have a 1 hour cushion built in to my habit. So that allows me to reach 1 hour before my actual 8:30 I should be in. I try to be in by 7:30, 7:40. So even when I was late, I was able to reach by 8:10, 10 past 8. So that was a good thing, I believe. Yesterday, another important thing happened. I got an email from one of the landlords who has accepted my application for a rental accommodation. A few more steps remain, such as a little bit of paperwork and obviously paying the money. And I think that will be in order. So maybe early next month, I will move into a new accommodation. As time progresses, I am able to get a better understanding of the nature of the job, and I'm also building better working relationships with my colleagues. I think, or I hope so. And slowly, I'm getting used to the situation here. So that's about it. That was yesterday's. Hello, Rajnath ji. Hello. Kaise ho aap, Rajnath ji? So that was about it, I think. I think that is my two cents that I had to say. Good morning, Baba. You can probably keep this on. Would this help? So, if you have any questions for me, you can ask. I have tried to experiment with the settings today. If the experiment backfires, I'll go back to the old system. Yes, it is a furnished apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Couch, 2 beds, cupboard, washing machine, refrigerator will be provided. I will have to pay the rent and the electricity bill and the heating bills. That's about it. So I asked people, they said it's a reasonable and perfectly nice. Financially speaking, it is a perfectly sound decision to opt for the apartment. And for me, the most important thing, apart from furnishing and all that, that is not the most important thing, whether it is furnished or not. The most important thing is privacy and proximity to the hospital. Not necessarily in that order. I like a place where I'm the only one living, and I also want a place which is very close to the hospital. This fulfills both those requirements. It's a 10-minute walk, 10-minute walk from the hospital, maybe 15 minutes if I walk slowly, but it's very close. It's at the location where when I was walking from the first hotel I stayed in, I would feel I've almost arrived. I'm almost close to the hospital. It is at that location. So that way it is good. I like it. It's a decent enough place. हम अच्छे हैं राजनाथ जी आप कैसे हो So let's get rid of this also. ठीक है. So today we will not be online for too long. Yeah, we will not be online for too long, but it's only 6:30. So I have adequate time to answer your questions. You can ask me anything you want to ask me. Also, I have to ask, how is the audio? So the problem with wearing the mic on the fabric is that there's a lot of fabric noise that comes in. Yes, I did. I did. There is. But they changed the linen here also. But yeah, next in the future place I will have linen for that. Yeah. There is. Okay, so if there is fabric noise, you tell me. Because sometimes the mic brushes against the shirt and there is a little bit of this kind of noise. If that is there, you let me know. And maybe I'll just hold it in my hand. Okay, so I have a good 20-30 minutes to answer your questions. As you can see, I am ready to leave. I'll just wear the overcoat and leave. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations. Yeah, so there is a departmental store right opposite. Just I need to cross the road, and there is a departmental store right opposite the apartment. Also, as I said, the hospital is 10 minutes away, and the place from where I've done most of my shopping here, Tesco, that is just opposite the hospital. So there are actually two departmental stores, one right opposite and one 10 minutes away. So from a shop point of view, it's very good. Also, the city center where the first hotel I stayed in was, that's also about 20 minutes in the other direction. So it's in terms of location, it is very good. Yeah, I think I mentioned the details. I'll just repeat once more. First, it is 10 minutes walking distance from the hospital. Second, it is an apartment, it is not an entire house. It's a big building with many apartments. One of these apartments will be rented to me. I will be the only one staying there. It's a 2-bedroom apartment which is furnished. There will be a couch, a washing machine, a refrigerator, 2 beds provided. The rent is, I asked people here, the rent is quite good based on the local rates. It's not too high, it's not too less, it's good. What else? And there are various nearby shops as well. So it's it's not directly on the main road, but it's not very far also. It's just a bit, I think, a 2-3 minute walk to get onto the main road, and then further 5-7 minutes to get to the hospital. So I think it's a very good location. I have found several barbers, and I've also found out how much they charge. So yes, that's definitely on the agenda. Before I moved to the UK, I was told by some of my colleagues in India, one of my colleagues in India, that doctors in the UK who move to the UK from India do not go to barber shops in the UK because it is so expensive. So either they don't cut their hair or they cut their hair only when they return to India. I'm not going to do that. I will be visiting barber shops in the UK itself. Yeah, thank you, Hawkeye, for that. Yeah, shops definitely are important. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. I think, if I remember correctly, it was the first floor. I think so, because I don't remember spending too much time on the staircase. There is no lift. There is a staircase, and I think it is on the first floor. The entire building, I think, is 4 stories. G plus 3, I think, the entire building. Maybe G plus 4, not more than that. Definitely not more than G plus 4. And I think the apartment is on the first floor. Pishe Mashai, yes, Pishe Mashai. ধন্যবাদ ধন্যবাদ পিসে মশাই. Any other questions? I'll just check the time once. I did not know when the building was constructed. I did not ask that. It doesn't look very old, but I don't know. I really don't know. It is not something which is now being constructed, if you are asking that. I'm not the first occupant, but I don't know how old it is. I'll have to ask the landlord, when was this building built? I'll ask. It's not like a dilapidated house with paint falling off the surface. It's pretty decent. It's quite well kept. But I don't know the exact age of the building. I will ask. Okay, so today everything seems to be quite good. No, no, he does not stay there. So this is a big building. I don't know if he stays in one of the flats or not. It's very unlikely that he would be staying in one of the flats. Not impossible. But if he stays in one of the flats, maybe he will, maybe he won't. When I went to see the flat, he was not inside the building. He came from somewhere else. And it took him about 15 minutes to reach. Maybe he was out doing something else. Maybe he stays somewhere else. I don't know. I have not asked that question. Maybe I will ask, yeah. But I will have the apartment to myself. It's fairly big apartment, 2 bedroom. So it does have a name which shall remain undisclosed in the interest of my privacy. I keep waiting for these messages to crop up. Thank you. Is yeah, the small appliances I'll have to purchase, of course. Small appliances I have to purchase, and I will. But the Pillow cover and all these things. Yeah, whatever essentials will be required, I will purchase them. I think three or four. I think three or four. No, I am not English. I am Indian. So yeah, three or four in each on each floor. Yeah. হ্যালো সুমনদা, কেমন আছো? সো আই থিঙ্ক ইফ ইউ ক্যান, তোমরা যদি বাকি মেসেজগুলো পড়তে পারছো যেগুলো অচেনা লোকজনের কাছ থেকে আসছে, আই থিঙ্ক ইউ ক্যান আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড কীরকম মেসেজ আসে। ইটস কোয়াইট ফানি। চলো, আর বলো। বুঝতে পারছো তো? খুব ভালো। And this only happens on YouTube. This doesn't happen anywhere else. Probably it's an indoor thought. It's just amazing. বলো, আর কিছু প্রশ্ন থাকলে করো। Well, yeah, not that much, but yeah, I like cricket. No, why don't you ask your questions and let me deal with the others? মাম, তুমি তোমার প্রশ্নগুলো করো। যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে তাহলে করো। It's 6:42 a.m. I will obviously leave in 10 to 15 minutes. But it's my it is about my journey from India to the United Kingdom. Oh, wow. Hello. Hello, sir. I really hope that things improve in Asansol even more. That's my only request from you. I want Asansol to be known everywhere in India at least, and possibly all across the world. সে শুনছো তো, বুঝলাম, কিছু প্রশ্ন তো করো রাজনাথ। কোনো প্রশ্ন করবে না? এখানে সবাই আমাকে ড্রাইভিং টেস্ট নেওয়ার পরামর্শ দিচ্ছে। Yeah, I am an ENT specialist. I work in the NHS now, but my entire training was in India. Yeah. So I try to talk about stuff that I have some knowledge of, some expertise in. So there are various playlists. I used to teach MBBS students back in India. So I like making videos on MBBS also. And all the exams that I have passed successfully, I like to make videos on those also. Thank you for the question, Sainath. हाँ तो आज आ जाइए, आ जाइए। ड्राइविंग टेस्ट के बारे में आप आ जाएंगे तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है, सब परेशानी सॉल्व हो जाएगा। Yeah, I know. You see, the good videos are not watched, but the good videos are for me and for people who know me. So I remember there was a video about a candle flame, which was also a metaphorical video. Those are the videos I really like making. I know they will not generate views, but I really like those videos. Yeah, I know. Thank you. So I like to keep it allegorical so that people can project their interpretation onto an otherwise fairly simple topic. But if you keep it allegorical, it means different things to different people and sort of has a universal value, in my opinion. And of course, it has a personal meaning as well, but everybody can relate to it, in my opinion. And do you know how much time it took me to make that video? I think 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Um, no. Again, YouTube is not a career thing for me. This is just an endeavor to stay connected with my family who are thousands of kilometers away. But when I come online and talk to them live, it doesn't feel that they are that far away. Beyond that, it's just a collection of my thoughts on topics that I would like to remember 10 years, 20 years down the line. So it's just one place where all of my thoughts are recorded and easily available to me, also to many others, but definitely to me. So I don't consider YouTube as a career, but apart from ENT, I haven't considered any career switches. If the time comes, which I hope it doesn't, then I might. I'm not opposed to the idea of a different career on a philosophical level, but not practically. I think I'm quite happy with the job I'm doing professionally. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, Hawkeye. I will try my best. Any questions from Baba, Ma, Mom? No? Rajnath ji, kisi question? No? Silence? Okay. What time is it? 6:50. 6:50. So I think it's 12:20 p.m. in India. Okay. 9:30. All right. Any questions for me? Anything you want to tell me? Mom, Baba. Yeah, snow stopped long time back. Snow snow was there in the first week of January only. I don't think it will return. Well, they appreciate it. They appreciate it if we can speak in their accent. It is easier for them to understand. For example, if you just think about it from the opposite um, perspective, if somebody from England or any part of the UK comes to work in India and they communicate in the English accent, the Mancunian accent, the Scouse accent, it will be difficult for people in India to understand that. And you can't really expect people in India to familiarize themselves with the intricacies of the Scouse accent. So you probably would expect the person migrating to adapt to the new circumstances. So if I know people who have been able to adapt, who have been able to change their accent to be better understood, and if I find that I am not being understood easily, then I'll also try and adapt. I don't know how successful I will be, but I will try. There is no explicit mention of it, although nobody tells you. I know many people who have not changed their accent at all. I can understand that they are from different parts of the world based on their accents, but there are also people who can comfortably speak in the local accent. So as long as you're understood, it's fine. Hello, Ma. Well, it is not snowing, it's still 0 degrees Celsius. So maybe it is an improvement, but still 0 degrees Celsius. And it is raining slightly. I just checked the weather app. It is raining slightly. Well, thank you. Thank you. But then I am in a country with native English speakers. So I think the real test is now. All the English tests that I did well in school, all of that is going to be tested in the real world. So, but thank you for that compliment. Well, till last night they were okay. I don't know about today. I don't know about this morning. Hopefully it will be fine. It usually is not difficult to walk while it is raining. It's only difficult when there is slush, when the ice starts to melt, or when it is completely frozen. If it is snow, it's okay. It's like walking on sand. But if it is ice, then it becomes really slippery. I was lazy yesterday. I woke up very late. Around this time, I woke up yesterday. So that was why I was not live yesterday. I am sorry. It's very important to maintain the routine, both in terms of my personal life as well as in terms of my professional life. And yesterday was a deviation from the routine, which I wasn't a big fan of. So again, I am back to the old routine today. Although 20 minutes late, I should have been live at 6 a.m. instead of live at 6:20. So that is also a problem. But the positive side of it is that I'm able to sleep at night, although I'm now having vivid dreams about various aspects of life in this country. I don't know if I should call them dreams or nightmares, but I'm having dreams. And till very recently, my dreams would include people from India. Now it includes people from this country, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Night of Seven Kingdoms, no. See, I'm always worried about anything related to Game of Thrones. You know, for example, Dance of the Dragons. House of Dragon, House of Dragon, House of the Dragon. I don't know. It can go well. It can go bad. I don't know. I was not a big fan of the second season of House of the Dragon. So I really don't know. Um, my feeling for George R. R. Martin, although who am I to comment on his choices, is he should have finished one story instead of branching out in different directions. But yeah, I find the premise quite interesting that in a kingdom where you have nuclear weapons, which is basically what dragons are metaphors for, what does a knight, what can a knight really do? One knight. What can one knight really do? But yeah, the premise is interesting. I would like to watch it, but I don't think all of that will be addressed. All the questions I have will be addressed, but let's see. It was quite boring. Yeah. So as I said, I'm not a big fan of George R. R. Martin's decision of branching out. It would be like J.K. Rowling not finishing Harry Potter and going into Fantastic Beasts, which thankfully did not happen. It had a coherent ending, or at least it had a definite ending. The Harry Potter saga. The Song of Ice and Fire is unfinished. It is finished on screen. It is not finished as a book. I found it beggars belief. Any other questions? So I suppose you understood today what happens when I don't have any filters in the chat. And I keep it open to anyone to comment. And although I still have a few default filters, so some of the chats you were not able to read, perhaps I was. So this is what happens. I get to encounter a lot of different opinions, which is fine. I read something in a newspaper about Lisandro Martinez. So Lisandro Martinez is a football player for Manchester United, and I'm not saying I am at the same level as a football player for Manchester United, but the message applies to me also. So a few ex Manchester United players criticized Lisandro Martinez, and Lisandro Martinez was like, "Why don't you come and say it to my face?" The point is, if you are in a position where you're supposed to demonstrate composure, you cannot get upset by stuff that appears online or stuff that appears on media, whether it is social media or traditional media. You can't be upset by that. I'm not saying everything said on social media is acceptable, and some of it is really troubling. I'm not saying it's okay to say bad things on social media, but I don't really get upset by that. Lisandro Martinez probably is Argentinian, I think. হ্যাঁ, বাজার খুব কাছে এবং বাজারে সব কিছু পাওয়া যায় 5 থেকে 10 মিনিট হেঁটে গেলে। Yeah, it is true. It is true. The dream was always to come to this country, but I never really thought what I should be doing after coming here. So it's basically a bit difficult to understand, to calibrate the goals now. It is taking time. In a hypothetical situation, if you're asked to do less work than you previously did, and you're paid a higher salary than you previously were, and you're asked to take less responsibility than you previously did, and you have more work life balance than you previously did, and you're living in a country which is more developed than you previously were, you would wonder where the catch is. And the catch is that maybe there will be less professional growth in terms of designation. Um, that would not seem like a very bad proposition to many people, but I'm still trying to understand what's going on here, and it will take time. I think it will take at least 1 year to fully understand, or to mostly understand everything. But yeah, there is a lot to get used to. It's very different from how things here are very different from how they were back in India. Still getting used to it. Okay, do you have any questions for me today? Any more questions? If there are no more questions, it's been a 37-minute live stream. I think it is time. Oh, you are English. Wow, thank you so much for joining the chat, Hawkeye. I have tried your English food. I love English food. I make it a point to always have food that would otherwise not be available in India. At least I'm not from a big Indian city. So most of the food I would have in India would be Indian food. I try to avoid having Indian food here as much as possible. Maybe once a week I would have Indian food. So I've always tried what is on offer, and I hope, yeah, so like fish and chips, I really like. English breakfast, Irish breakfast, big fan of them. So yeah, I really like the English food, um, and you know stuff I would otherwise not get an opportunity to consume in India. Yeah, I'm not gloomy at work. I would like to believe that. I'm just getting used to a new place, so I don't know when it is appropriate to be cracking jokes and when it is appropriate to be observing and absorbing the knowledge. Chinese food is available. It tastes very different from the Chinese food we have had in India, but it is available. I've had Italian food once. I'm not talking about pizza. Okay. Pizza I've had, but pizza we've had in India also. But yeah, I've had Italian food, and when we were in London, we had Greek food. Obviously, this place does not have as many options as London. Yeah. So my policy is to, if I don't gain anything, I would at least want to lose weight. So that is definitely one of the things which always is on my mind. Okay. I don't know if there are. I think we are running out of time now. It's 40 minutes. I really have to get a move on so that I don't have to walk too quickly. I'll see you tomorrow. tomorrow, hopefully, same time. Okay, bye bye.